Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I've got a big story, a big speech is coming from El Presidente, Jeff Borgen. He is, I'm gonna link this story below, and it is entitled, Borgen Targets GOP on Inflation as Prices Skyrocket. This is good news. Finally, he's gonna do something about it. Do you remember when he said that inflation was just transitory? Yeah, he was sort of totally wrong. And do you remember the time when he also said we've hit in its peak? That was about 4 months ago, again, wrong, totally wrong, right? But now he's got a big speech. This is the day things are gonna happen. So let's just dive right into this story. You could tell that the sarcasm level is high. For those of you that don't understand what sarcasm is, technically and reality, it is the lowest form of humor, so that's why I use it. All right, the Economic Ninja's here. Just grab your coffee, grab your popcorn, and let's just sit back and enjoy this show. It says President Borgen is preparing a major speech Tuesday to address inflation and will contrast his plans to lower costs for American families with who those offered cannot read by congressional Republicans, an administration official told these people. You know, guys, I'm sorry. It's the sarcasm, the energy. I haven't even had that much coffee is just surging through my bones. And the reason why is because this is no laughing matter, but sometimes you just got to make a joke about it because this is really happening and it's going to get much worse. We're actually going to have a melt up in stocks and in all kinds of commodities and things like that this summer. I've done some videos about that. I'll be doing more. So if you want to see those, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you so much to everybody that is doing that because the algos don't like me. I know, what's not to love? I'm the ninja. So why it matters, okay? He's got this big speech. It's a big deal. For a president who once insisted that inflation was transitory, Borgen is now talking about rising prices nearly every opportunity. That's because they're going up every single day. Good one. The focus comes as Americans buckle under gas exceeding $6 per gallon in some states and grocery prices increasing each visit to the store. And that is not a joke. We've been covering that for about a year and a half. And it was actually a year ago when I said that lumber was going to collapse in the summer, July and August. I specifically said it was because gas and food prices were going to start to increase. And yes, I did another video in right after Thanksgiving saying lumber was going to explode again after it dipped. So it says right here, despite an economy that has created 428,000 new jobs, right, last month, officials know inflation is diluting Americans' purchasing power, and they love it, quite frankly, and can crush Democrats at the polls in midterm elections. Biden administration officials have been debating whether to lower some of the president's Trump's tariffs against China as one step towards slowing inflation. Now, throughout April, Biden hit rising prices in a speech nearly every week. He did so again during a visit in Ohio, right, a key Rust Belt state. Now think about this. I want to go over a couple of stats because this absolutely blows my mind. Economists estimate that monthly headline inflation rate will come in at an additional 0.2%, meaning the annual inflation rate will be at 8.1%, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is absolutely not going to happen. Why? I actually believe the ninja's going on record right now that we're going to be in the 9s. It'll just completely blow away. I wouldn't even be surprised, honestly, if by end of May we're at 10%, all right? And the reason why is because wholesale inflation is, I believe, already at double rates. It was last month, I'm pretty sure. And that tells you your future, okay? So as these wholesalers, are getting their price increases, they're passing that on to the average consumer, okay? And I have a feeling that this is going to be what causes the Federal Reserve to about face. And it sounds crazy, even as inflation's blowing up. It's because there's going to be more market carnage over the next week or so in stocks, in all kinds of assets, everything actually. And they're going to pretty much go, you know what? We've done our job. We raised rates. We got it up to 75 basis points. Maybe they get it up to 100, they get it up to 1%. Then they're going to do an about face. I believe that's going to happen by July. So either it's going to happen in June or it's going to happen in July where they're going to do an about face, which is going to cause markets to just go euphoric, right? But that's a bad sign, actually. That means they can't raise rates even to 1% or 1.25%, let's say, because the economy is that weak, okay? We can't handle the actual interest payments on a myriad of things, okay? So I'm calling that right there. Now it says that would mark a decline from March's 8.5% annual rate, which was the highest annual rate since 1981. These people are completely in Lululand. I mean, they've lost it, okay? To even think that this is going to decrease, not that bright. Now, a little bit of a flashback, it says here. At the end of 2021, with annual CPI at 6.8%, you remember how that was? That was so 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Man, time's flying. So is the inflation rate. Biden claimed that inflation was at its peak. Okay, so just 5 months ago, the leader of the free world was telling you that we are at peak inflation, okay? So he was wrong about transitory inflation, and he was wrong about peak inflation. So now he's preparing even, no, I got bigger guns. He doesn't. Again, I want to remind you, the reason why we're in this situation, and I'm going to give you some solutions right now, is because the federal government took on loans through a private bank called the Central Bank, the Federal Reserve. It's private. It's not federal, and it doesn't have any reserves. And it's owed back at interest, right? All that money is owed back at interest at the cost of our children's futures, right? They're the ones that created this inflation. So what do? You buy things that you need now. You just literally, there's nothing that you could, for any dollar, if you're keeping cash for an emergency fund, I understand that that's important. And also none of this is financial advice, okay? Not a financial advisor. But you're also keeping money, for opportunities. Okay, cash for opportunities, cool. But really, you need to limit where you're at because your cash, because everything's getting eaten up to inflation. So anything you need this year, because I can guarantee you one thing, they're not going to get on top of this. So for necessities, food, all kinds of things, the things that you need, right, that you can't live without to preserve your lifestyle, you can go out and buy those right now, and you're going to save money over the next 6 months to a year because of the cost of all those between the inflation rate, but also supply chain issues, okay? So if you can get stuff, go get it. Don't go overboard, but I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you buy a year's worth of toilet paper? Do it now before the next craziness happens. I mean, honestly, I just think that's sound advice. That's called, that's what Ninja Nation's all about. Human beings all around the world that are prepared and not scared. So think about that, all right? Now, there's a couple other little things that are really important. Now, in late March, the president made rising prices a centerpiece of his fiscal 23 budget and used his spending outline to tout deficit reduction. All right. The reason why he has to do that is because you can't hide it anymore. They were trying to hide it in the news. You can't hide it. Everybody knows inflation's soaring. On March 31st, he tapped the strategic petroleum reserve for an unprecedented release to help lower gas prices. I want to remind you that we were energy independent. Now we are energy dependent. We are using our own. We had low fuel oil costs, right? Because we were pumping it out of the ground and using it ourselves. Now, that was another stellar idea he had was let's get rid of that and let's go buy it from other people and pay more. So that's score. I mean, we're talking top notch stuff that's going on here. And now to lower prices, we're draining our reserves, so we're going to have less. That can't go wrong. In Iowa last month, he announced expanded summertime access to E15, a cheaper gasoline with 15% ethanol for the same reasons. That's also pretty stellar because we're already going into a food crisis, and corn is one of the cheapest things to make and the easiest. But, hey, let's go ahead and just use more of it in fuel to lower those prices when we're coming into a famine. Man, the thoughts are amazing right now. Now, guys, I just want a little disclaimer. If you made it this far, dude, do me a favor. Hashtag, I made it. Hashtag inflation. But also, I'm using sarcasm. And just as a little disclaimer to those that don't understand sarcasm, it is the lowest form of humor. That's why I use it. It's easy, low-hanging fruit. Just grab that stupid joke or that weird glance, that glare, and just run with it. That's what I'm using because this is what makes you sane, okay? In a world of crazy people, the few of us that are the sane ones, and the few of us are my subscribers, my awesome subscribers. You guys are awesome because you're prepared and not scared. You're logical. You're wise thinkers. And it sounds crazy. No matter what your net worth is right now, because you're getting prepared, you're going to be able to crush it in this next downturn, and then you are going to be wealthy, and you're going to help other people because you're still going to be the same person with money than you are now. And trust me, I know lots of people that are subscribers here, and they're actually very wealthy. So you are in really good company if you subscribe to this channel. That is not a shameless plug, okay? If you didn't like that joke, hit the thumbs down button twice. I'll definitely get the point. All right. On the other side, Republicans, because we got to make this political, okay? So we got to really go after the other side, continue to hammer Biden on inflation and are convinced voters are on their side. Well, I'm on that side. I don't like inflation. I think these decisions are stupid. It says on May 1st, ABC News surveyed showing 50% of respondents trust Republicans to bring it under control, with only 31% supporting Democratic efforts. And hey, let's get political here. Let's just call a spade a spade. Democratic policies are all about printing money, giving it to people that don't work hard, and then they blow it, and then they want more, so there's more handouts, and then we all have inflation and high unemployment. That's weird. Wow. It's weird. It's almost like if we stopped doing that, things would get better. Scott, who also serves as chairman of the National Republican Senatorial Committee, says he has no plans to raise taxes on working Americans or retirees. That is very important. Take care of the retirees. Take care of the old people that are on fixed incomes right now. Nothing ticks me off more than even thinking that these people on fixed incomes are suffering because of inflation. American families are struggling to get by with skyrocketing inflation. We're going to end it there. Guys, I'm going to link this story below. And I'm going to be honest with you. I had to use some sarcasm to hopefully lighten the mood, because this crap's real and it's going to get worse. Get ready. There is a famine coming. It's already started. Biden even told you about it. He said food shortages are coming. Get ready. They're going to spin it just like he spun inflation being transitory, then being at the top, and now, oh crap, it's going to be the same thing. Food shortage is coming. It's because of Russia. It's because of Ukraine. It's because of this, because of that. It's not because of us using more corn or all these other crappy policies. All right? Like the tariffs on our food. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.